Good evening. Today we are here to remember Padma Vibhushan Uday Shankarji, a doyen in world dance, I can say. And we are very lucky to have Dr. Sunil Kothari, eminent dance critic, and also Smt.Shobha Deepak Singh, who is the director of Shri Bharatiya Kala Kendra. So, in the beginning, I can only say that Uday Shankar was a genius and he had no formal training in any schools of classical dancing, but imagination and creativity was had no bounds. So, we'll just see a small clipping of what that could have been.
From the film Kalpana.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
That
Sunilji, I
was
want to
wonderful.
have your opening remarks on Uday Shankar.
Absolutely captivating. It's magnificent. What he called himself, the film as Kalpana, it comes alive. What an imagination. What wonderful montage he has created with the music, and not one instrument with an Eastern musical instrument. All instruments are absolutely of Indian origin. The film was made in 1941 already. The only film that he made with most of all his choreographic work in Chennai and Gemini studio. And then it was released sometime in 1948 in Bombay. But the film really bombed at the box office because he was far ahead of his timing. Uday Shankar,
Hmm.
as you already know and Shobhaji would know, was a genius. Born on 8 December 1900 at the turn of the century, he was among the six children. His youngest brother was Ravi Shankar, whom we all know is a great sitar player, etc. At a young age, he was very fond of painting. So one of his teachers, who was very happy to train him in painting, suggested that he should turn into a big painter and should study very well the painting. And at that time, Uday Shankar's father, what is Sham Shankar Shastri, was in the service as a lawyer for the Maharaja Bhavani Singh of Jhalawar, and he had to go to London. And when he was in London, Maharaja said, I'll give you a scholarship. You go to London, join the Royal College of Arts, and you study painting. So Uday Shankar went to London when he was barely 20 and started studying painting at Royal College of Art, where there was a great painter called Rubinstein. Rubinstein had another great friend by name Anna Pavlova, who was a Russian ballerina who had already settled in London. And she was, after her visit to India, wanted to prepare a dance drama with the Indian theme. And she wanted to create a choreography of Radha and Krishna, and also one choreography of Ajanta fresco and of the Hindu wedding. she asked that I have come to know that a young man, Rosenstein, in your studio, who could play the role that I imagine of Krishna. Why don't you send him for audition? So Uday Shankar went for the audition. Now, Uday Shankar must have seen when he was very young in Jhalawad, the dances, Rajasthani dances, some Kathak dances, also dances by one of his very young man, one of who was maid, Mata Din, who was to dance and folk dance, everything. So when he went for audition to Anna Pavlova, she liked his body. And she said that I would like you to dance with me as Krishna and will choreograph. Rothenstein asked him to go to the British Museum, study the miniature painting, design the costume according to miniature painting of Krishna and Radha, and then perform duet together. By that time, there was a Bengali lady by name Komalata Banerjee in London who used to teach Hindustani music on piano. So she was
Uh-huh.
approached to create the music for piano of Radha Krishna. And Radha Krishna, can you show that photograph we had sent you earlier of Krishna and Radha? They play as Krishna and Radha, Uday Shankar and Anna Pavlova. One of the very famous photographs of that together in as Radha and Krishna, where they perform in the Covent Garden in 1923 September. And that was how the Indian dance first time came to London in terms of an imagination of not only Uday Shankar but that of Anna Pavlova. And
Uh,
so when they came to India with Aligarh another one of the ballet dancers with Anna Pavlova, they presented it in India in many places. And when they presented the scene of Hindu wedding, people are very surprised because there were differences in many presentations of weddings in various parts of Bengal, Gujarat, etc. And Ajanta fresco was very much appreciated. Now this is how the career began. For 6 to 8 months, he traveled with Anna Pavlova, and then he got very bored. He said, "I would like to learn ballet." She got very angry. He said, "No, no, no way. You don't learn ballet. You better go to your country. Your country has
yeah.
great dance traditions. Go and
There's a
study their
picture
dance tradition." This is the
photo
photograph.
of
Yeah.
Uday Shankar and Anna Pavlova.
Ah, yeah,
So
that is
Anna
rather.
Pavlova is offering a salutation, and because she was ballerina, she did not know, but she had put on ballet shoes. And later on, she took the ballet shoes away, but earlier she had put on. This picture was
Okay.
also seen by Rukmini Devi in her collection. She had also met Rukmini Arundel when she was traveling to Sydney for Theosophical Society, and Rukmini Devi had started, can you believe, learning ballet from one of the Cleo Nordi, one of the ballerinas of Anna Paula on the ship. And she also told her, no, 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 you don't learn ballet. You better go to your country and learn the dance of the Devdasis who do wonderful dancing. Now, Uday Shankar came as per the suggestion of Anna Paula to India with one French, the lady was from Switzerland, and Alice Bonner, great
Ah,
sculptor and a
Anyway,
painter. He said, I will support your company. Let's go and travel throughout India. So they traveled throughout India watching dances, performances. They saw Kathakali in Kerala. They went to Mahabalipuram. They saw wonderful sculptures, etc. And Uday Shankar got many inspiration. So it
ah,
was sometime in 1933 or 34, Uday Shankar performed in Empire Theatre in New York, or in Calcutta. And
ah,
Avani Shankar, brother of Gurudev Tagore, he was the chairman then and he liked it very much. And then later on, Gurudev also attended the program and he blessed him that Uday Shankar, you have brought now a new spring. भाई बसंत को तुम लाए हो, so let the spring be the spring of our entire nation, who is ultimately in the because the Britishers are ruling over us, but we hope that you'll bring new life to our world by your dancing. As a matter of fact, only when he went to Kerala, he saw the great guru of Kathakali and Nambudri, Shankar and Nambudri. He was wonderful choreographer and dancer. So when he would cry from one eye, he would show the tears, and one eye would be laughing. Guru
ah,
Shankar had only one guru, and that was the guru was this Shankar and Nambudri. And
mm,
some of his dance dramas, he brought the technique of Kathakali also. But when he met Haren Ghosh said, "Well, I can arrange your troupe, I can arrange your traveling, and why don't you travel? And you travel in the country and let people see what you are creating." Meanwhile,
mm,
Uday Shankar also produced a company with his sister, cousin Kanakalata, with his all brothers, Rajendra Shankar, Devendra Shankar, Ravi Shankar, then other people also. And for music, he had met while he was traveling to London on the ship, Vishnudas Shirali. He was a great musician from Gandhara Mahavidyalaya. So commissioned with Vishwanath Shirali to choreograph music, compose the music for his dance drama. And in 1935 or so, he for the first time presented in the Champs-Élysées in Paris on 31st March the dance drama. And that was the dance of Shiva and Gada
mm,
Surabhadra. And
mm.
that clipping we will show in the end. That's a beautiful clipping. Don't show it now, later on. And then he met one of the great impresario by name Saul Europe. And Saul Europe liked this dance when it was being performed in the French exposition in Paris. And he said, I'll take you out with me. But Pavlova did not want to go travel with him. He had to go
Mm,
alone with his own company. And when he
mm.
traveled with his own company, he created a sensation. It was total sensation. All the gods from the heaven came alive in his dance production. The way he
Wow.
choreographed the beautiful production of Lord Shiva, I'll show you the photograph. He discovered beautiful painting and sculpture. Now you see
Ah,
here, now he created the crown. The crown is
ah,
there, the serpent is there, Ardhachandra is there. And the
yeah.
small figure of Ganga is also there. And
Yeah.
himself is a handsome man. So with
Ah,
he created an image of Lord Shiva, and he had met at that time one French dancer by name Simki, who
ah,
used to
yeah.
play piano. So he said, Simki, you become Parvati. And then we
Ah,
both present Shiva Parvati Nritya together. And she composed the music also, and then they began to travel. It became very,
mm,
very popular that people had
mm,
never seen anything like that. Now, when he
mm.
went to Paris,
Let's
he had taken
see
his
one
mother
Shiva
also there.
Parvati video also. We'll just see a small clipping of Shiva
All
Parvati.
right, let's see that. Yeah.
स्कन्दो वयकराभ्यान्तु मातुस्तनकदाहृतम् एवं गौरी समीक्षेशम् गीतातिस्नेहविष्टम्
The
Shobhaji.
way he produced this dance drama was wonderful. We are
Yeah.
ushered into the world of gods and goddesses. What beautiful costume, what beautiful training, what beautiful bodies. It was so magical,
Yeah.
absolutely
Yeah.
magical.
I have to
Shobhaji,
say,
can you tell us a little bit? Yeah, your
yeah, I have
experience.
to say that this entire show of Shiv and Parvati was wonderful with Uday Shankar and Simki. I mean, they
Wow.
were Uday Shankar and Simki. They were great. And,
Yeah.
I went with my family. I think I must have been about 7, 8 years old to see a shadow play by Uday Shankar.
Ah.
In I think it is either Buddha or Ramayana. I can't
Without
remember.
that,
Buddha.
Okay.
without that.
And then, of course, in our house in Curzon Road, there was a huge rehearsal hall, and Uday Shankar used to rehearse there, and Ravi Shankar used to dance more than play the sitar. Yeah.
Okay.
We saw in one of the video recording,
Uh,
Ravi Shankar says about that he was a young dancer in his company.
yeah,
He used to dance.
and then he came to Avasiya Ramayana in Firozshah Kotla, and he
Mm.
loved it. And at the end of it, he said the dance was very good, but he loved the dramatic portion between Dashrath, Kekai, and Mantra. And these
Mm.
are certain things there to be remembered. And
Yeah.
I think I was 25, I think about 25 years ago, that Uday Shankar presented Shankar Scope in
Yeah.
Calcutta. It was
Wonderful.
huge, but in Delhi, it just did not pass any test. There were hardly any audiences, mainly because I think the language was Bengali. And
Yeah.
then we we called, the troop had gone, and my mother and me to Calcutta. And
Mm.
Mr.
Okay.
Patterson took us to meet Uday Shankar in his house. Now, this is in
Wow.
early 1977, and we sat with him. He gave us tea. He showed us boxes of his costumes, instruments, and so on. And then he
Wonderful.
said, to us, told my mother especially, he said, now people are, no one remembers him. But when he dies, there'll be so many people who will remember him.
Yeah, yeah. He died on in 77.
Yeah,
September 77, he passed
yeah,
away.
I think
But
we went.
then, when he performed in Paris and all, then
Ah.
during that time he visited England also. And in
Yeah, I know.
England, he was given a lot of money grant. And they said, you go to Himalaya and start a center. Uday Shankar
Hmm.
started a center during the World War in 1938 and 39, Almoda Uday
Hmm.
Shankar Cultural Center, where
And
number of
that was,
people where your
Hmm.
mother went to study. Dr. Dharmavira's sister, Sumitra ji, was a very renowned, coming from a distinguished family of Dr. Dharmavira, and she went and
Ah.
studied in Uday Shankar's
and
company
he
in
actually, Mr.
Almoda.
Kothari is the one who gave the land to Uday
Yeah,
Shankar to have the
yeah.
center. And I've got
And then,
photographs
Oh.
with
yeah,
Jayawant Sehgal, Ujra Sehgal, Devendra Shankar, my parents, all playing in some game. And
yeah,
then, of course, when we went to Calcutta, he said that he showed her all these costumes, his wonderful instruments, and then he said to my mother, Sumitra ji, अभी तो आप लोग याद कर रहे हैं. He said when he dies, no one will remember. And I think
no,
within
no,
6 months, he died. And in Delhi, Mr. Tapas Sen held um, prayer meeting for Uday Shankar. And he
yeah,
showed, and my mother made sure that he was given the emeritus
ha,
status
ha,
in the government of India, which gave him at
yeah,
least 5,000 rupees a month. He was a great man, wonderful. And to think that, and I remember as a child when I saw that movement of his head, I mean, I tried to do it many times.
what moment? Unbelievable. In the
Unbelievable.
interview with Shambhu Mitra, Uday
Yeah,
Shankar at the age of 77, he shows the movement of all the arms, how the movements are done, etc. He's very famous for
Yeah.
that.
Shall
yeah,
we see that, Sunilji?
yeah,
Yeah,
We'll just see
yeah,
that clipping. How
yeah,
yes, yes.
interesting he says about the body, whole
yeah.
Yeah,
body. He says. Huh? We'll just see
Shambhu
that.
Mitra, and they are in a
When I was in America, uh, Ananda Kumar Swami
Yes, yes.
presented me a book called Mirror of Gesture.
Hmm.
And this book had a plate of Nataraj. So in the bed I was just looking at it, going on for hours. It passed, I don't know how. Then I wanted to try. I had rather bad condition, I was living in the attic of a hotel.
Yes, yes.
And as soon as I started, all the floor went crack, crack, crack like that,
Yes.
Then I had to stop. And then I went to the studio and started. So I found out that it was not only pose of Nataraj.
Yes. Not a static
It has
thing.
many movements.
Yes,
It
yes.
goes,
How it goes, huh?
you see,
Huh.
many movements. I wish I could dance for you and show
No,
you.
but why don't you show? I mean, the way you sort of.
Oh, you are doing
No,
beautifully.
no. Sorry, I'm so sorry to have done it.
No, you have to first practice each knuckle. Then this,
Wrist,
wrist. Then here. Then shoulder.
High. Okay.
You understand?
Beautiful.
But, all you have to know.
Yes.
You have to make friends with these. You must
Yeah,
know
yeah.
that you have a body and you can use them. All this works.
Thank you, Jaywant. It was great. To get two geniuses, Sambhu Mitra and Uday Shankar together. Marvelous. Thank you for that clipping.
I think it is wonderful to see that.
Yeah. And now I would like to show 3 small clippings of different
Genre.
mediums that have been incorporated. Like, for example, we would like to see something about the Katputli, how it has been put once.
Yeah.
सदियों के होश में हम नाच रहे कठपुतलों से जुल्मों में खामोशी से हम नाच रहे कठपुतलों से सदियों के होश में सब दिखावटी वाने बने सदियों के सपने कब से उठ बैठे इशारों में नाच रहे कठपुतलों से हम नाच रहे कठपुतलों से सदियों की बेहोश में बंध जात पात के तारों में
It was marvelous in terms of I started with from the penance and
Sunilji,
fight
I
people.
want you to speak on all these three clips. When the
Yeah,
clips were going on, that
I can't.
music was
Yeah, yeah.
coming.
So when Uday Shankar observed the dance performances of, say, when he was very young, he saw Rajasthani dances, Kathakutri he had seen. So inspired from Kathakutri, he said that what has become of all of us, we Indians have become like Kathakutri. And it was a criticism. The film
Hmm,
Kalpana was created at the cost of, at that time, in 22 lakhs, when Lord Elmhurst was giving money from London to
hmm,
Uday Shankar. After the war, the money stopped coming, and later on, the center was abandoned. By abandoning the
hmm,
center, he decided that I should keep this record of all the dance drama that I've created. Therefore, he created the film called Kalpana. He went to
okay.
Chennai, Madras, and SS Vasan was there, and he made the film in Lagbhag, in hardly 30 or 40 days with 88 dance dramas.
Hmm,
He brought 30 dancers from Kerala to do Kathakali. As I was telling you that the film, what he choreographed was labor and machinery. His idea was to present not only the glory of India, but he wanted
hmm,
to have tourism that we are under the influence of Britishers. The film was
hmm,
already done by 1940s and was released in 48. But in the film, he also says that I do not like to be slaves. I want our people to understanding. I don't want foreign education. I don't want people
hmm,
to widow marriages and all. So his social criticism was there. In labor and machinery, what he did, that he said, okay, how can capitalist people exploit the labor? And that was one of the finest productions of contemporary, innovative, what we call
hmm,
modern dance that was created by him.
hmm,
He was also nationalistic. And then, in order to see that we are all of one country, from various people, we all climb going toward the goal that we should show that we are very united. Now, this conception of his was amazing, and it was
hmm,
far ahead of its time because when the film was released, it did not succeed. But in 1948 or 49 in Brussels, it was kept in their archive. Later on, we went to number of archives, including sources who made out the film, which is in also color and wonderfully done. In
hmm,
Bombay, in Pune, in the archive, the film is there with subtitle in English, and that is how it
hmm,
helps it people a lot. It was recently shown in Cannes Film Festival in France with the red
okay.
carpet reception when Amalaji also
Hmm,
went, etc. Now, this
hmm,
film is absolutely a remarkable gem of a film. Even I had
hmm,
forgotten so many things that I saw today. Now, when
hmm,
you go, people say it is on YouTube available, but people may not have patience up to go to YouTube and find out. But when you see some of the stuff, see the sequence of Manipuri, how beautifully it transformed all Manipuri Ras Leela onto wooden blocks, etc. So his
hmm,
imagination was very great. He brought all the banana leaves, he created the mandap, so beautifully he created the mandap. So in
hmm,
terms of his understanding of the beauty, he was a painter, and he brought even the painting quality into his dance. It is true that Uday Shankar later on, when the film did not make money, he went to Calcutta, started his own school, etc. And but luckily, he had a great artist with him, Shanti Vardhan, who started Little Ballet troupe with Guru Vardhan. That was Sachin Shankar, Narendra Sharma. These are the people who followed his tradition. So the tradition was continued by Amla Shankar Anand Shankar, his son, who passed away, but his wife, Tanushi, and Mamta Shankar, they all continue to create his life. Now, the vision of his is so great that you will find in Manipuri, he shows all the folk dances, the tribal dances. You will see Gawa, they are dancing with the sword and etc. So the range was great. Lila,
Yeah.
शोभा जी mentioned about Rangila. आपने बताया तो shadow play में when in Almora he created the shadow play of Ramayana with the shadow from the light coming to the back and the characters move, etc. In the end, they used to remove the curtain and then all the characters would come in front of the audience and the people would really come and touch feet of Guru Datta, who used to play the filmmaker. He had joined and he was playing the role of Rama. Now, when Shobhaji mentioned about, Shankar scope, he had gone to Czechoslovakia. There he saw that a film was shown and from the film, real live actors came out and they would come and start performing and dancing. So that was a
Oh.
miracle. People had never thought that from a film, live actor, my colleague Ravindra Bharti by name Shiv Shankar Menon, he used to act in that. And we had some portion of that we had shown during our exhibition at Indira Gandhi National Center for the Arts. So the concept, when we think, is that the concept is far wide. Nobody had done these innovations as Uday Shankar did in those years, in particularly 1940, 45, 46, 47. The Gujarati, when one of the great supporters of Uday Shankar gave a lot of money, like 22 lakh of rupees in those years. It was not a small amount, but luckily the film has been done. And because the film has been done, we are in a position to see what is his great contribution. Uday Shankar could have turned a painter, but thank God Anna Pavlova took him as a dancer, and thank God that we are able to see what he has created. This fantasy, that Kalpana, is unbelievable. We'll see some more clipping. Show the clipping of Ravi Shankar talking about Uday Shankar not using the Western instrument.
Before that, as you mentioned about labor and machinery, there's a
Ah,
small clipping without audio, but we'll see that also.
that is clear. I want to see that is the only creative, fantastic, unbelievable.
Yeah, a
Such
very,
choreography
very
never
small
existed.
clipping.
Even
We'll
today,
just,
people say that nothing matches the
yeah,
labor and machinery.
yeah, we'll
Why?
just see that.
Show it, yeah. Ah, he's putting coal in the working as a
Yeah,
labor. Now
yeah, yeah,
taking
yeah.
the rail path,
Hmm.
he starts the machine.
Yeah, yeah,
It's amazing imagination how the two wheels are getting moving around.
yeah.
And the labor class is working, and one of them falls down, so he gets very worried. He wakes him up and he
Hmm.
complains. Now look at his movement of the arms, how he jumps.
Hmm. There are two more clips. Before
I
that,
know.
I would like to read Sunilji, your small, you have written in a Natyakala conference 2000 about Uday Shankarji and appreciation. So
Yeah.
here you have said the spirit of nationalism was awakening with the freedom movement, and Indians were taking pride in indigenous arts. So here we'll just see how the spirit of nationalism has come into Uday Shankarji's life.
वीर पंचन जवासी गंग जमुन के बुद्धि विकासी वंग देश के कला प्रकाशी
There is one more beautiful on the kisan, the farmers.
Farmers,
कि
yes.
हल ही बल है. We'll just see that.
The big crowd.
इन किसानों के चेहरों की तरफ गौर कीजिए। शायद ये कह रहे हैं कि कौन हल की सच्ची पूजा कर सकता है? तुम नहीं, हम किसान। हल ने हमें जीवन दिया। हल ने हजारों वर्ष तक इस देश के करोड़ों प्राणियों का पेट भरा है। हम हल की पूजा करते हैं, लेकिन हमें आज को भी देखना है। अकाल हमारे देश को बार बार धमकियां दे रहा है। अन्न के लिए हमें दूसरे देशों का मुंह ताकना पड़ रहा है। हमें समय के साथ कदम से कदम मिलाकर चलना होगा। हमारे देश में उपजाऊ भूमि की कमी नहीं है, कमी है सिर्फ उसके उचित साधनों की। हमें जमाने की मांग को पूरा करना ही होगा।
Yeah, Shobha ji. Shobha ji, can we see some of those beautiful pictures that
Yeah.
we
Actually,
like
what I
to
want to say is that
Yeah.
as far as I remember, Uday Shankar
Yeah.
used to, in the center, he had two prominent dance styles. One was Manipuri and the other was
Ah,
Kathakali. And
yeah.
there's a bit of a feeling even today amongst the contemporary choreographers that Uday Shankar never did anything classical. These photos will tell you exactly whether that statement is true or not. Oops.
Wow.
Ah, beautiful. Wow.
At least his ornamentation, his movement. I mean, nothing is contemporary. Are you seeing it?
Ah, yeah. थोड़ा
Buddha.
पीछे. Shobha.
Buddha Katha.
That's the
Kisan wala. Of the Kisan. Gujarati.
Wow.
Bharwad no dress se. Very lovely.
Hmm. Ah,
Wow.
wow.
also Buddha. Buddha, where you
Beautiful.
see a man who dies, and that's when
Yeah.
wants to leave the home. And these are pictures of Amla. One more. I think I have one more. These are all women. You can see they're beautifully dressed, not contemporarily dressed. So the point I'm trying to make, which I want people to understand, is that
Ah,
Uday Shankar's legacy is not contemporary. It is
correct.
soaked into Indianness, and you'll see that in one of the interviews. He said, I am an Indian, I want to do for Indian in an Indian way. But what he did was expand the boundaries of the dances he was doing to something new.
Hmm.
And like you've seen all these, I'm just putting them away before they get spoiled. They're very rare.
And
And
as you, yeah,
as I've been able to, I would have shown you pictures of the center where Uday Shankar, Devendra Shankar,
hmm.
Uzra Sehgal, Zora Sehgal, they're all playing, and my parents in some kind of a game in circle. And the one person is running, and the other person is trying to catch them. But I can't show it now. But it's big.
Yeah. In fact, you mentioned about Amla Shankar. So we'll just see that
Yeah,
Indianness, and
yeah,
then
all
Sunilji,
the
Very.
it's
yeah,
only Amla Shankar.
yeah, yeah. No, there's one video I'm going to show.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh wow, beautiful picture. Wow. Ah, oh,
Very
ho,
deep.
ho.
Padma,
Amazing.
Very nice.
Now we'll just, yeah, yeah. Oh, wow, lovely. Ah,
What a
yeah.
beauty.
Wow. Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing, amazing. Wow. So, yeah.
तब दिना दिन तब दिना दिन
एक
वाला दिखाओ.
What this is?
हाँ, हाँ, वही। तो इनको फोटो दिखाने के बाद, हाँ, वाह! एक मिनट। So, as you mentioned, we just see that Indianness
Yeah,
video. Then
yes,
Sunil ji
absolutely.
will tell us. Okay. We'll-
Nothing. I didn't nothing. Didn't nothing. Didn't nothing. Didn't nothing. Didn't nothing. এই যমুনা তীরে কে গো চলে ধীরে ধীরে চাহে পিছন পানে ফিরে সে যে কোন সড়কে রানী তার রঙিন শাড়ি গায়ে গৌর বরণ ঢাকা দায় বাজে নুপুর রাঙা পায় কে গো কারো ঘরণী এই যমুনারি তীরে কে গো চলে ধীরে ধীরে চাহে পিছন পানে ফিরে সে যে কোন সড়কে রানী ভাই দিনক না দিনক
My God.
Yeah.
She was amazing.
And as you all have mentioned, even the musical instruments, the music was
Everything.
always absolutely Indian. So, like in the Uday Shankar India Cultural Center at Almora, they had Ustad Alauddin Khan for music sarod. As Sunilji you mentioned, Sri Vishnudas Shirali, he was there on vocal and composing. Then there was Kandappa Pillaiji for Bharatnatyam. There was Amobi Singh for Manipuri, and Shankaran Nambudriji for Kathakali. So, and we'll see that little clipping of.
This
एक मिनट हाँ
Alauddin,
शोभा जी दिखा
Alauddin Khan Sahib.
Yatin Kasab is here.
ah
Yeah.
क्या amazing amazing क्या बात है. So we'll see this little video of
Yeah.
Pandit Ravi Shankar ji watching the one of
Let
Uday
them
Shankar
see.
performance at home and what he has to say. Yeah.
What happened, he had a partner who was French. Her name was Simone Barbier. She was a pianist, beautiful pianist. And he was so much in love with her and started teaching her dancing. She left piano. Name was given Simki. Bizarre instrument. Really, can you imagine? 1932.
Wow.
Simki. He was such a wonderful dancer, and it was just not sexy, but it was beautiful. This is me. He created a whole new style, but it was never westernized. That's the beauty of it. His inspiration was at that time what he had seen in his childhood in Rajasthan.
Wow.
Wonderful. Very good clipping. Very
Yeah.
nice. There was
Yeah.
not a single Western instrument he never
Yeah.
utilized, only Indian instrument. And
Yeah.
that gave a distinct quality to his dancing as well as all his musical quality, etc. And one of wonderful production he did was Samanya Shakti of Rabindranath Tagore's beautiful dance drama he choreographed. All his dance dramas choreography had a wonderful imagination, and that is why he came the name film called Kalpana. Because most of his entire work, which of 88 choreography, I don't believe anywhere in the world you can see of a genius like Uday Shankar in a nutshell or even in a manner that he has selected all these sequences is very marvelous. I believe that many times I've seen the film earlier when I was doing the exhibition of Uday Shankar for the Indira Gandhi National Center for the Arts in 2001. But suddenly after 20 years when I'm looking at it, I find it so refreshing. There were three dancers of the Lalita Padmini Ragini, the famous film star
Yeah. Yeah.
Padmini who acted in Jagte Raho with Raj Kapoor and all. They all three were dancing with Uday Shankar. And he had baby of beauties. They're not ordinary dancers. They all look like apsaras coming from the heaven and performing for him. And the way he trained them at the Almora Center was something exemplary. People who have studied there, she in Lalita used to go there and she used to tell me that to study Satyavati was there, Satyavati Gopalan. They say it was an amazing experience. Like what Shaktivardhan did for his Panchatantra, the dance drama he did for Ramayana, where human beings play as Kathaputri, etc. So the generation and the legacy of Uday Shankar was not being limited to Uday Shankar. It has been also carried for further and further. And today, when we think of that he was born in 1900, it was a time when other people were like Rukmini Arunde was born on 4th, on 29 February 1904. Madam Manka, who did for Qatar, was born in 1899, 1 year before Uday Shankar. And then Ram Gopal was born in 1912 on the 20th November. Bisano Bad, therefore he was called. 1919 was born Mralini Sarabhai, also Bala Saraswati and Shantarao, and all this. It was a great thing. In America, Ted Shawn was born, Vincent Dennis was born. These were a time when the world was waking up to dance in a wonderful way. That is where Uday Shankar's position is built up as one of the pioneers. What we today remember and recall his contribution through the clipping. Luckily, the clippings are available on YouTube, etc. But the way you are selected, that makes a lot of sense. For instance, sometimes I find I'm seeing for the first time, even though I've seen it many, many times, but the way juxtaposition comes makes us understand that he was a genius and he had done live shows. He went to Paris, to Pathé, to learn filming. And the shows, people like S.S. Vasan and who made another film called Chandralekha, where people come out of the drums and they dance on the drum and all. The images was great. The scale was marvelous, and the scale has been admired by people. Charlie Chaplin, when he did the time, when the Charlie Chaplin's concept also was incorporated by him in an Indian way. There was nothing copying about him, etc. The scale was great. That the
Yeah.
scale that we today salute and we recommend it. And we see that the young generation, like I'm already 80 plus, so by these our age, you are your age, but the young generation will never know this thing. They will
I will
Yeah.
be,
only
I
dance
will
by
be 80 in 2 years.
lecture. Yeah, such a lecture
Yeah.
is wonderful. Even when I am watching it, I'm finding it very exciting, very absolutely super. The book which is written by Mohan Khokar, His Dance, His Life, in 1983, Ravi Shankar ki asked us to celebrate 83rd year of Uday Shankar, and we did an exhibition at the Seaford, and Jora Sekal and I we did one exhibition, and later on I did exhibition Ravindra Bharat University, and then for the Indira Gandhi Center, and
Mm.
then we were in a position to see the range of the production. The range was
Ah,
mind-boggling. You cannot imagine that one man can produce such beauty and that to film in another. What a way
yeah.
he done the film. People say that the way he takes the top shots, even the opening number when the arm is moved, what a
Yeah.
juxtaposition. When all the arms are moving, I have not, you can't forget it. Once you see, you can't forget it. And the way
And
that
lighting. What about
light,
the lighting and that?
oh, super. What we
Of the
learned
whole
from Anna
ceremony?
Paulova, we Indianized very beautifully. Thank you.
Ah,
Jaywant, I'm very happy that you selected the right place. I'm very happy that
Yeah.
Shobhaji joined us because she had direct experience with it. I also met in 1964. Later,
ah,
Uday Shankar had joined Rabindra Bharati University. And later,
ah.
I also joined Rabindra Bharati and I was given the chair, Uday Shankar professor. But when I
Mm,
stayed there, I met Amala Shankarji and went with her every evening to Tollyganj Club, and they were staying nearby. And we
mm,
went through hundreds of photographs, unbelievable.
mm,
And on basis
mm,
of that photograph, we did a big exhibition at the Indira Gandhi National Center, which ran for more than 6 months. People came from Paris, people came from London, people came from many places to see the exhibition. And
mm,
Chitra Sen, the great dancer from Sri Lanka, and his daughter Upeka, she also came to see the dance exhibition. The exhibition was
mm,
a tremendous success. The thing like this was put on the scale the way Indira Gandhi National Center allowed us to mount the production was not easy. So some of the
ah,
photographs are still on the online, and one can also visit them by visiting the IGNC's logo, etc. You can visit, but the clippings are wonderful. You can always go on YouTube, but then you go on YouTube with a long film, you might lose
yeah.
interest. But the way you have selected is very good.
But if you
Maybe we
really
can
want
show
to,
the last one.
if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
There
really
is
want
something
to clip it,
Shilvaji, would you like to say something
yeah, I'm
before
saying
we close?
uh, if you go to YouTube or Uday Shankar Facebook, there are lots of small clippings which are very nice.
yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah.
Thank you so much. So before we close, I would like to once again thank Dr. Sunil Kothari ji, Shobha Deepak Singh ji for
You
having
have
come
bad
and
memory
you
lane.
know
It was a great pleasure to see.
and
Okay.
participating in this remembering Padma Vibhushan Uday Shankar ji, because this is a very tough period, lockdown period, where we are remembering such a
Giving
personality,
joy
and
in this
many
lockdown
people
period
all
is not
over
very
the
easy.
world, the younger generation, the older generation, are a part of this. So thank you very much, all of you.
Thank
And
you.
I'll just play the last clip, and
Yeah.
we close with that clip, the program. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you once again. Yeah.
Thank you.